Hi everybody, good morning and welcome to week number 6 of Sandy's 13 Frights Before Halloween 2022. This is Michelle and I'm here today to share with you a really spooky little gatefold card that I created a long time ago. This is one of my original designs that I did, oh my goodness, back in 2011. So it is a little on the old side, but it was buried in my blog. And I never did a video tutorial of it. And so I thought I would resurrect it for the Frights Before Halloween. So let's get going with this. This is a fun little card. This has a belly band closure. And I used some really cute papers here. So for this, I used Photoplay Monster Mash. And this is I don't even know what the date was, but this is an older collection. And it's really super fun. I did use a spider here from Recollections that I just glued on the front. This is one of the cut aparts that I just rounded the corners and put that on the front. Look at the eyeballs and the ghosts and everything. It's really fun. Really cute. And on the back, this boo sticker, just super cute. This would be a fun card. This is a really cute little project. It doesn't take too much paper. So let's go ahead and open it up. You do, because it's a 6x6 card, right? Make sure I got my measurements right. Yeah, it is a 6x6 card. It's actually created out of one piece of cardstock for this, and then you need a little bit of extra for your belly band if you wish to do that. But when you take the belly band off, and you have this cute little gatefold, and you have a diagonal pocket that is formed by creating the scores and a couple strategic cuts. And then in this diagonal pocket, we have a tag. This is made out of one of the stickers, You Put a Spell on Me. And then I created a diagonal shaped card that you could put your sentiment on. And this just fits in this pocket and like that. Big enough for gift cards. This would be great to send to grandkids or whatever. And then just have this nice little closure here. It's a gatefold, so it, opens like that. And then you have your little belly band here to keep it all closed. So I did create an envelope from my scoreboard here. And I did, it was made out of a 10.5 by 10.5 piece of paper. And I started scoring on the 5 1/4. And that's how I created the envelope for here. So it's plenty big enough to pop your card in and go ahead and mail that. So let's get started with the tutorial. This is going to be really fun. I think you're going to like it. It's along kind of the lines of my configuration stuff that I do. So this is kind of a fun little engineering piece. Okay, so in order to try and make sure that we explain this well, I'm going to show you on this white piece of paper, and then we'll do it on the black cardstock that I'm going to make the card with. So first thing you're going to do is take your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and you're going to score at 3, at 6, and at 9, okay? Then you're going to rotate, and you're going to score down the middle at 6, all right? That's it as far as that part goes. Now, let me find my triangular piece that goes with my scoreboard. You will kind of need this. Otherwise, you'll have to do some measuring, but that's okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to fold it. And I'm going to fold it to the other side now so it doesn't kind of confuse you with all of these score lines. So you're going to fold it in half on the 6-inch line, okay? So you just folded it on the 6-inch line. We're going to put our little corner dude in here. We're going to line this up. And you're going to score at the 2 1/8 inch mark, okay? Just like that. and then you're going to rotate, and you're going to do the same thing. And you're only going to do this on one end, okay? Now, these little tick marks here, this just shows you the 3, 6, and the 9 score lines. That's all. Okay, so we're just going to do that. You're going to do through both layers, so at 2 and an 1/8. And, you know, make sure that they're nice and crisp. Now, if you don't have this guy, what you're going to do is this point is right in the middle of the 6-inch mark, so that's a 3-inch mark. So just make a tick mark with your pencil at the 3-inch mark, and then at this 3-inch mark, you could go ahead and line it on your scoreboard and do it that way as well. But you're only going to do one side, and you're going to do it so that both, you know, top pieces here are scored. Leave this one alone, okay? So once you do that, let me get rid of this and get rid of this. Once you do that, you're going to cut up the 6-inch score here, okay? So you still have your 3, your 6, and your 9-inch scores here. You're going to cut up that middle 6, okay? So now that I have probably thoroughly confused you, we're going to do it again on the black cardstock here, and I'll show you exactly what we're doing again, okay? So we're going to put it in your scoreboard at first, and you're going to score at 3, at 6, and at 9, okay? You're going to rotate, and you're going to score down the middle at 6. And then what you're going to do is create your top scores in the top only. So we're going to fold our paper and make sure that this matches nicely, okay? Because that's kind of important. Okay, so let's burnish that down. Okay, so you still have your score marks at 3, 6, and 9 here. Okay, so on one end only, we're going to make these diagonals. Okay, so you can either use this, and if you use that, then you want to line your paper up at 2 and an 1/8 here and do that score line right there. Okay, rotate, and again at 2 and an 1/8. Okay, or if you don't have this guy, because I'll tell you what, those things go flying, and I lost one before. So if you don't have that, then what you're going to do is you're going to find the center point, which is at 3 inches. You're going to make a tick mark, and then you're just going to line it up on your scoreboard with the 3-inch mark at the top here and the score line here. That's at 3 inches, okay? And you're just going to score, okay? And do it for both sides, okay? So once you have that, then we're going to make one cut. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut straight up that score line. And if I could see, you can use your scissors, you can use your trimmer, whatever you're more comfortable with, but we're going to cut up 3 score lines only, okay? You got to leave the top score line intact, okay? So you should have a piece that looks like that. What we're going to do is we're going to fold our paper like so, and then like so, okay? So you will end up, let's do that again. So fold the top score with the triangles down, okay? And then fold in half, and then open it up, okay? And that should give you this piece here, okay? So it should look like that once you get it folded up, okay? Trying to give you some extra views so that you can see. All right, and then you have all these beautiful scores here, and you're just going to pop that down, and boom, you have your little triangle pocket down at the bottom. Okay, these pieces here, I'm going to fold to the back, and that's going to create a beautiful kind of almost a 3D effect for your pocket. Okay. So that is how you create the basic form. So if you can see this, let me see I use this piece of paper. So now you should have a piece that looks like that. So it has this top triangle is folded down. This bottom triangle is folded up. That creates your pocket. And then you're thinking, well, now what do I do with the back? Because it's kind of like floppy open. So you're going to grab another piece of cardstock that's 6 by 6. So this piece is made out of a 12 by 12, and then this piece is 6 by 6. We're going to glue that to the back of the card. So we're going to turn this over, and we're going to glue that down just to the back of the card. That's all we're going to do. So let's grab our glue. Maybe. Come on, glue. Come on, glue. You can do it. There we go. I'm just adding my glue. We're going to hold that together. Like so. And that will glue the card shut, okay? So you won't even see that this is split, okay? Like that, okay? So now you have a nice flat back for your card. And then we're going to just gatefold this up, like so. And then gatefold this up. Okay, and then you have your card. So then it opens up like this, and then you have your pocket here and all your panels that we can decorate. Now, we are going to glue these down because I don't really like that it's floppy. So we are going to glue it down, but we have to put pattern paper down first. So we got to get all that done. Okay, so we have our card made, and it is a really cute little gatefold. Now we got to cover it with pattern paper. I am going to glue this piece down so that it creates a more sturdy pocket, but we have to cover with pattern paper first. So I have some pieces cut out. So for this example, I'm using Happy Haunting by My Mind's Eye, and it was back in 2013. And I thought this would be really pretty for the back. So the card is 6 by 6, so I cut it 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So that's going to go on the back of the card. And then I have panels here that I'm going to cover. Now, you don't necessarily have to cover these panels if you don't want to, and I'm not going to do it for this. Actually, I will do it for this panel here, but not for this one. You can if you want to. But anyway, I cut the panels here, and they are 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. So we have all those panels. So depending on how many, there's 6 here on the inside, and then if you wanted to do all of these, there's 4 panels as well. So we'll need to do that if you want. Then you need to cover the triangle. Now, to cover the triangle, this is super simple. I just did a square and cut it at the diagonal, and the square itself measures 4 inches, okay? So you cut a 4 by 4 inch piece of pattern paper and then cut it at the diagonal, and that should give you a beautiful triangle to mat your pocket. So you're going to have one here, and you're going to have one here. That will cover the scores, okay? So then you have your pocket to do things. We will, after we put the panels under here, glue all of this down. That will create a nice sturdy pocket, and then you'll have this beautiful folded edge. It's going to look really pretty. And then I created a very simple tag for inside the pocket. So I used black cardstock, I used some of the pattern paper, and then I used a piece of ivory on the top so you could write your sentiment. So the black is 4 by 4. The pattern paper is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then the ivory is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then there was this cute little tag piece that I had, and I just made a ticket, and then we're just going to put that in the pocket as well. And there you go. So let's start by, we're going to lay out our pieces. I'll show you how to fix the middle part here on the inside, and then I'll just finish the rest of it off camera and come back when it's all completed, and then we'll work on our belly band. Okay, so I have my pieces cut how I want them, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover underneath our triangle here, and I'm just going to add my glue to this. This was a 6 by 6 pad that I used. we go. So we're going to glue that down. Okay, so once you get that panel down, then we're just going to go ahead, we're going to glue this one down to the back of the triangle. Okay, and that's just going to create that nice fold. And then we're going to glue that whole business down. Okay, so we're just going to flip that over and glue that down. Okay, that's going to create that nice side. So you can see this side's still floppy, but we're going to fix that here. So we're going to glue this panel down. Okay, so you should have about 1/8 of an inch on all the sides. Sorry for the reach. Let's see. No, I'll do it over here. Grab this. Wipe up my excess glue because I got a little much on that. Okay. Now you can see how cute this is going to look. And glue that down. Then we'll glue that whole business down. I made this card design originally for a swap I was in a long time ago, and it just turned out adorable. And I thought, well, part of, you know, getting, you know, this Halloween event, I decided, you know, I was going to try and, you know, resurrect a couple of cards that I have done and designed. So, you know, some of them are other people's cards, but some of them are mine too. So there you go. Okay, so then you just add your other panels here, and I'm going to, yeah, finish that. We'll do that. Let me show you how cool the pocket's going to look now. We'll put the pocket on. There we go. Ooh, I should have made sure that that was, yep. Make sure if you're going to use papers that when you fold it up, that's how it's going to be, so that it's continuous with your project. That's always important. I did ink all the edges with Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I love Vintage Photo. That seems to be my go-to whenever I make, you know, my, or whenever I do ink. And I think for Halloween, definitely should ink, right? A little distressed. There we go. And you can do all kinds of decorations on here. We could put, you know, stuff on the pocket. Just have to be aware of the closure, you know, so that it closes nicely. So nothing too bulky for sure. But, you know, you could put a nice little sticker, something like that, with your paper collection. All right, so then you have your little piece that goes in the card that you put your sentiment on, and it comes out. And then we have our little skeleton here. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll come back. We'll work on the belly band. All right, I'm back, and I have my pattern papers on here, so I just think that looks really cool. I decided not to put any pattern paper on the backs of the panels. You totally could do that if you wanted to, but this is, I think, really beautiful the way it is. So I'm going to just leave that there. Now let's work on our belly band closure. So for our belly band, you're going to need a couple different pieces of things. You're going to need a couple pieces of pattern paper. You're going to need, you know, the emblem for the front, and I chose this 31 here, and I backed it with a little bit of pattern paper and then some cardstock. So no real size there, just whatever you feel like doing. You have 6 inches either way to play with. You will need a piece that's 12 by 2, and you will need a piece that's 6 1/8 by 2. So we're going to take our 12 by 2, put it in our scoreboard. We're going to score at 2 7/8 and 3, and then at 9 1/8 and 9 1/4. Okay, it's going to give us an 8-inch gusset to wrap around our card, because it will be a little bulky. Okay, and then we're just going to fold and burnish those, and just kind of be careful to keep that 1/8 inch gusset. Okay. Like so. And then what you're going to do is just use this piece to, you know, seal the deal here, because you can tell it's not going to go the whole entire direction. So fold one of the 1/8 inch pieces so that you have your 1/8 inch gusset here. And then the other one, I want you to fold so that it's underneath, okay? And then we're just going to attach these and make this kind of a whole piece. It's going to cover the whole thing. Okay, so we'll just get our glue here. We're just putting it on that one flap right now. And we're going to take our piece here and line that up and glue that down. Okay, I can see I got it a little bit crooked, so we're just going to trim that up a little bit. So now I still have my 1/8 inch gusset right there, okay? Make sure that's burnished down well. Okay, and then we're just going to lay that down on the other side and glue that down. So just make sure that your 1/8 inch pieces are that one's folded down. This one will be up. This 1/8 inch piece here will be up, and that one will be down, and we'll just lay that down. Okay. And then just double check. You might have to trim just a hair off. Okay. So then you have your 1/8 inch gussets like so. Okay. Perfect. Then we'll grab our pattern paper, and it doesn't matter which side you use for the front, whatever you decide. I cut these at, and I'll double check it for you. I always get that crooked, because you know why? Because when I do my albums, I always do an 1/8 inch smaller, but when I do cards, I do a 1/4 inch smaller, and I always start laying them down too close. I know you know what I mean. I don't know how else to explain it. I have to remember not to put it too close to the edge when I lay it down, because I want about 1/8 of an inch, right? Right. So center that there. Okay. And those strips are cut at 1 3/4 by 5 7/8, because remember, the belly band is 6 1/8 wide. Okay, then we have our element. We're going to put that right in the middle. So however you want to figure this, I'm going to just do this just so I can get kind of sort of in the middle. You can always tweak it a little bit after. And then I'm going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to turn it so I can see it, which would be, you know, good. There we go. Down a little bit. All right. And that's centered. And then you can go back and you can glue in here if you need to kind of keep the edges down. Okay. And there you go. All right, we have our little belly band. So then we got our card. And I'll pop that in there if I can get it in there. All right, there we go. Isn't that cute? Look at that. How adorable is that? So, you guys, this is a really fun card. It's called a Gatefold card with a diagonal pocket. You will have to make an envelope for this because it is a 6x6 card. It's a little bit on the big side, so I did cut a piece of cardstock that was 10.5 by 10.5, And I started scoring on my scoreboard at 5 1/4 to make a nice square envelope that you could send this in, and it gives a lot of extra room, so in case you get a little bit bulky with the outside decorations. But isn't that sweet? Isn't that cute? Then you open it up, the gatefold here, and then you have this. Just super fun, super fun. Place to write your sentiment. You could send a gift card. You could even put a small candy in there if you weren't planning on like mailing it. I think that would be just really cute. So you have this one, and then we have this one. This was my demo piece. Really cute. You can really do some fun stuff with this card. So thank you so much for watching. This is for Sandy's 13 Frights Before Halloween. This is week number 6, the gatefold card with the diagonal pocket, and I will be back with more frightful creations. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.